as Hyannis returns to McKeon Park in Hyannis, Massachusetts. They're set to battle the Whitey Red Sox for what will be their final home game of the 2019 season. Hyannis and Whitey squaring up for the third of four times. They'll finish the season out at Red Wilson tomorrow. But tonight, these two teams set to square off for Game 43s of each of their seasons. Hyannis comes into the contest sitting 7-32-3, with Whitey sitting at 22-17-3, really vying for a first place spot in that East Division as it's within striking distance entering today's play. The Red Sox, however, haven't exactly helped themselves out in that regard over the last few games. They've won just 2 of their last 7. They've left a lot of guys in scoring position, and they look to kind of rejuvenate their offense today and capitalize on some opportunities. For Hyannis, their offense has been going over the last couple of days. They've split a pair in each of their last 2 doubleheaders, tying with the Wareham Gatemen here from McKeon Park, then tying with the Falmouth Commodores 5-5 yesterday out at Gov Fuller Field. And the long balls have been flying for Hyannis as of late. 5 long balls in the 2 games yesterday for the Hyannis squad, as they were absolutely spraying balls left and right, or 4 rather. And 1 from Brooks Carlson, 1 from Ian Fair, 1 from Jordan Westberg in Game 1, and a 3-run bomb from Jackson Olsen in Game 2. So the offense looks to translate over to McKeon Park again for the final game of the season against the Whitey offense that we know can really swing it well. It's the Harbor Hawks and the Red Sox on the Cape Cod Baseball Network. Good evening, everybody, and thank you so much for joining us here from Hyannis at McKeon Park. Lyle Goldstein, Brendan Howe here with you. And Brendan, it's kind of like we were just alluding to in the opener, but Hyannis's offense has really kind of started to pick itself up over the last couple of days, and the long balls have just been flying out like nobody's business.
And it's something that Hyannis hasn't really had a good grip on throughout the season, but the long balls, like you said, really been anchoring the offensive threat recently, the past couple of nights, and a couple double headers, and you would think that some of these guys might be getting tired out, but they're just swinging the bats freely and letting the ball fly out of the yard, and they've been doing it in bunches. Back-to-back days, Hyannis has put out two balls in a row, back-to-back hitters. It was Jordan Westberg and Ian Fair yesterday. The night before that, 2 pinch hit appearances from DeSantolo and Trevor Hoover putting one out of here. So with the Hyannis bats going like they are, it'll be interesting to see how they wrap up the season against a YD team that's gotten the better of them twice.
You mentioned those 2 nights ago, the back-to-back home runs and pinch hit opportunities against Wareham. That split it at a 3-3 draw. Jared DeSantolo comes off the bench, hits his 3rd home run of the summer. Trevor Hoover follows him up, hits his 2nd home run of the summer. Then last night, again, Hyannis puts up 4 home runs on the day. Brooks Carlson hit his 2nd, Jordan Westberg hit his 4th, Ian Fair hit his 1st, and Jackson Olsen hit his 1st. So the offense has really been going, but meanwhile for YD, this is a team that's looking to get things going again. They have left 60 runners in scoring position over the course of their last 7 games. They're looking to rejuvenate that here tonight against Hyannis from McKeon Park. It's just about time for the anthem here between Hyannis and YD at McKeon Park. We'll take a quick break and bring you back on the other side. Hyannis and the Red Sox set for their 43rd game of the season and the final one here from McKeon Park. First pitch and lineups coming up on the other side of the break. We'll have that for you when we come back on the Cape Cod Baseball Network. Back from McKeon Park, the top of the first just about set to get underway as Hyannis has taken the field and the right-hander Tommy McCollum out of Wingate is set to make appearance number 3, start number 3 of his 2019 summer. McCollum will go up against Ryan Hare, his counterpart for the YD Red Sox, an arm that Hyannis has already seen once this season. Hare will be making his 5th appearance and 5th start. McCollum a little bit more of a late arrival. His first outing came back on July the 17th at Katuitt. Went 3 1/3 innings, 2 earned runs on 3 hits, 2 walks, 3 strikeouts. But he takes the rubber here today, set to go against a YD lineup that is very, very strong offensively. They're 2nd in the league in average, 2nd in the league in hits, and 1st in runs scored. So McCollum, a gritty task ahead of him as he spikes one in the dirt on the warm-ups. He's set to face a YD lineup managed by Scott Pickler that'll go like this. Wyatt Young leading off the Pepperdine shortstop. He'll be followed by Brad Beasley, Cal Poly center fielder, Austin Wells hitting 3rd, Carson Taylor doing the cleanup duties out of Virginia Tech, with Jack Wold hitting 5th, All-Star Riley King hitting 6th, Tate Samuelson in the 7th spot, UCLA catcher Noah Cardenas hitting 8th, and R.J. Yeager out of Mercer playing 2nd base and rounding out the 9. So as McCollum continues to get loose on the mound, he throws down to Hackenberg and fires down to 2nd base. Wyatt Young, a short, crafty left-handed hitter from Pepperdine, will make his way to the box. And Brendan McCollum's got a chance to capitalize today. Put a good statement on his final start of the summer, again against a YD team that really has left a lot of runners on base as of late.
Yeah, absolutely. And to start it off against Wyatt Young, a guy who's been a stalemate at the top of the YD order all season long. He's gotten hit after hit after hit.
So McCollum working from the first base side of the rubber. Roxon fires the first pitch, fastball inside, we're underway. 6 o'clock, the first pitch time for McKeon Park. It's 82 degrees and bright and sunny, a beautiful day for baseball on the final day at McKeon Park. 1-0, called strike on a fastball from the righty McCollum. Count moves to 1 ball, 1 strike. So Hyannis playing their final game at home this season. Their record there sits at 4-16-1, looking to pick up win number 5 for McKeon. 1-1 to Wyatt Young, popped up into short left field. Hover drifting in, patrols under it, and makes the grab. So the all-star Wyatt Young retired for the first out of the inning. This will bring up Brad Beasley with nobody on, 1 away. The defense for Hyannis tonight, left to right in the outfield, Trevor Hover, Bryce Teodosio, and Hunter Goodman. And the same way around the infield, Jackson Olsen, Jordan Westberg, Lucas Dunn, and Ian Fair. With the catcher Adam Hackenberg completing the battery, right-hander Tommy McCollum out of Wingate on the mound. Fires home to Beasley, fists one foul to the right side. Red Sox tonight in their road red uniforms. They have the navy blue lettering and numbering. White pants with the red trim, navy blue belts, navy blue helmets, and the YD logo up on the top. Pitch for McCollum, up high. Count moves to 1 ball, 1 strike. Hyannis in their home whites, orange lettering and numbering. White pants, blue pinstripes, as well as blue belts, blue hats with the orange H up on the top. 1-1. Beasley, Cal Poly product, takes a strike at the knees. Count will move to 1-2. So McCollum already retired Wyatt Young on a weak flyout to begin the ball game. Righty lifts the leg, comes home. Pop up right side. Hackenberg gives chase, but he's going to watch it sail out of play. McCollum flashes that fastball breaking ball combo a pretty good amount. We've seen it already so far. And Brad Beasley, a guy who has really been swinging the bat well as of late. 1-2 for McCollum. Popped foul, back off the screen. Count will stay at 1 ball and 2 strikes. So Hyannis and YD squaring off for the 3rd time this season. They'll face off one more time in the final game at Red Wilson Field in South Yarmouth tomorrow. 1-2 for McCollum. Right-handed Beasley swings and fouls it off. So Beasley has 3 home runs, 12 RBIs on the summer. He's been really swinging the bat well as of late. Last time these two teams squared off, he was hitting just 152. He had a 2-run home run in that game back at Red Wilson Field, although it was quite the Red Wilson special. Righty McCollum shakes off a couple signs after taking a long pause. Now delivers the 1-2. Ground ball hits softly up the middle. It's a C&I through the middle of the infield, a base hit. Beasley stops at first base, and he picks up the first hit of the ball game. It's a one-out base knock for the Cal Poly product as he just shoots one through the middle of the infield. Not hit too hard, but neither Dunn or Westberg could get to it. This will bring up Austin Wells.
That's just good placement from Brad Beasley. Knocking one right back up the box, past the glove of McCollum on the hill and back up the middle. Both the middle infielders just a bit too far away to track it down.
So here comes Austin Wells. Arguably, the best player on the Cape this summer. First pitch, big swing and a miss. So Brad Beasley had that home run back at Red Wilson Field on the 4th of July. 352 feet to dead center, and he just squeaked one out of the yard. Meanwhile, for Wells, last time he came to McKeon Park, he shot one the other way for a home run as McCollum flips it over to first. Ian Fair just catches it, no tag applied as Beasley's back safely. That was back in the top of the first inning. Wells just lofted one the other way down the left field line. It got about 15 feet over the fence for a 3-run bomb. 1-1 to the lefty Wells. Popped foul. This will get off the netting. Count will move to no balls, 2 strikes. So Austin Wells, 322 average, 7 home runs, 26 RBIs, 20 extra base hits. That ranks second in the league. McCollum shakes off a couple signs. He's working from the stretch as he lifts it over to first base again. A soft toss over to Ian Fair, who lightly applies a tag on the runner Beasley. He's safe, no problem. So the Cape Cod League doesn't announce runner-ups for MVPs. But if Wells doesn't win it, as Nick Gonzalez would be still considered the favorite by most, if Wells doesn't win it, he'd likely be number 2. Pitch, fastball high and away, sails over the catcher Hackenberg. Beasley's going to get into second, sliding in safely, no problem. Throw comes in way late from Hackenberg as Westberg picked it out on a bounce. Whitey has their first guy aboard in scoring position. 0-0 here in the first. Whitey already threatening. Beasley with the single and then advanced to second on that wild pitch. Wells, big left-handed bat out of Arizona. The 1-2. Ground ball foul down the right field line. And Wells was quite the player for the Wildcats. He's only continued that up here on Cape Cod. Again, putting together a really miraculous summer. McCollum checks the runner at second. 1-2. Breaking ball inside. Count will move to 2 balls, 2 strikes. So Wells makes his way out of the box. Now he'll dig back in. And the righty McCollum's just staring him down. 2-2 count with 1 out. Pitch. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. First strikeout for Tommy McCollum. That's a big one. Gets Austin Wells swinging. He'll walk his way back to the dugout. And there's 2 down for the designated hitter, Carson Taylor.
Well, you talk about Lyle. This could be an eye-opening performance for McCollum tonight in a big way against these YD Red Sox who have been so good offensively. And to fan a hitter like Austin Wells, that certainly goes a long way.
So in steps Carson Taylor, switch hitter out of Virginia Tech. He's hitting just 179 entering today's play. Pitch from McCollum. Breaking ball, drops into the zone. No balls, 1 strike. So Wells went down swinging. McCollum fanned the Pac-12 Freshman of the Year for the 2nd out. Still 1 aboard. That's Beasley at second base. McCollum, the righty, working from the stretch and the 0-1. Fastball down. 1 ball, 1 strike. Carson Taylor, the only switch hitter in the lineup tonight. Red Sox featuring 5 natural righties. Wold, Wells, and Wyatt Young all hit from the left side. And then Taylor can hit both ways. McCollum, the 6'5 righty, 240 pounds, gazes in. Now comes set. Glove right at the belt. 1-1. Good breaking ball. Clips the inside corner. Count will move to 1-2. Taylor's got 6 runs batted in. McCollum giving him a long look in as he finally gets the sign. Westberg backs up at short. Runner takes off. 1-2. Ground ball hits softly to the right side. Dunn to his left. Gloves out in front. Flips to first in time. So a good first inning from Tommy McCollum. He faces one over the minimum and gives up no runs on one hit, no errors, one left on. We're through half a frame. Hyannis will get their first licks on the other side of the break. It's Whitey nothing, Harbor Hawks nothing on the Cape Cod Baseball Network. To the bottom of the first we go. Hyannis coming to bat for the first time today against the righty Ryan Hare. Jordan Westberg will lead things off, shortstop out of Mississippi State, as he steps his way into the right-handed batter's box. Westberg will be followed by Ian Fair in the 2 spot, then Hunter Goodman, Jared DeSantillo, Trevor Hauver, Lucas Dunn. As the righty Hare rocks and fires the first pitch, it's a breaking ball that hits the bottom of the zone 0-1. Then the final third of the order, Jackson Olsen hitting 7th, Adam Hackenberg hitting 8th, and Bryce Teodosio in the 9 spot. 0-1, off speed, misses away. So Hare, a guy who flashes that fastball breaking ball combo a lot as well. This is his 5th start. He's thrown 15 innings to this point. As he lifts the leg, comes home, swinging a foul back. 1-2 the count. He's 0-2 with a 5.40 ERA. And his first outing of the summer came against these very Harbor Hawks, back on July the 4th out at Red Wilson Field. Gave up 6 hits, 2 earned runs in 3 1/3 innings. Pitch, breaking ball, called strike 3. Good pitch from the righty out of UNLV as he freezes Westberg for the first out and picks up K number 1. So 1 away, this will bring up Ian Fair. Whitey defense tonight. Austin Wells, Brad Beasley, Tate Samuelson left to right in the outfield. As Ryan Hare's already ready to go. He's got the glove peered over the face, staring down the right-handed bat Fair. The first pitch, ground ball up the middle. This is going to split the middle infielders into center field. Ian Fair, how about it? Hits in 17 of his last 19 games, and he picks up the first hit of the day for Hyannis.
It's really just unbelievable what Fair's been able to do, and he just continues to swing a hot bat. You mentioned only 2 games over the last 19 where he hasn't gotten on base via a base hit. So right there, after picking up his first home run yesterday, keeping the hot streak alive.
So Hunter Goodman will dig in. Rest of the Whitey infield, Riley King, Wyatt Young, R.J. Yeager, Jack Wold from left to right in the infield. UCLA catcher Noah Cardenas behind the plate. One more time, UNLV righty Ryan Hare up on the mound. First pitch out of the stretch to Goodman. Breaking ball, checks his swing and does not go around, according to umpire Joe Peters. So Ian Fair, once again, nobody's had a better second half than this guy. He came into the day hitting .363. And already has picked up a base hit today as Goodman swings away, lofts one into short left center field. It's blooping down in front of the center fielder Beasley, a base hit. Goodman picks up a 1-out single. Fair moves up to second, and Hyannis has a rally going in the bottom of the frame. So Goodman, a guy that's certainly racked up his fair share of hits too. He came into today's play tied for 8th in the league in hits with 40. That was his 41st. This will bring up Jared DeSantillo. Now, Goodman, not a guy that's gotten in on the home run party over the last couple days, although he's certainly had his fair share this summer. He's got 7. That's tied for 4th, right along with Austin Wells, who's playing left field tonight. Pitch to DeSantillo. Ground ball hits softly to the second baseman Yeager. Charges in, looks to second, now fires to first. That's his only play. DeSantillo moves up the runners 90 feet, so a productive out of the FAU Owl, as there's 2 outs for Trevor Hauver. Ian Fair down to third, Hunter Goodman up to second. And the Arizona State Sun Devils going to have an RBI opportunity here in the bottom of the first. So Hauver will dig in. He's hitting .237, 2 home runs, 12 RBIs. He went 1 for 3 in Game 2 yesterday. Pitch from Hare. Down in the dirt, chested up by the UCLA product Cardenas behind the plate. It's 1-0. Hauver 0 for 2 in Game 1, but then picked up that hit in Game 2 out at Falmouth. But back to Goodman. Was not one of the 4 home runs yesterday, although he still had himself a productive day in the doubleheader. Hare's 1-0. Off speed. This catches the outside corner 1-1. Hauver gives a look back to home plate umpire Ken Seiber, but he's rung up to even the count. Goodman reached twice in Game 2 yesterday. He scored twice as well as Hyannis drew a 5-5 tie with the Falmouth Commodores. 0-0 here in the first. 1-1 to Hauver. Outside, back pick from Cardenas down to third, tag applied by King. Fair slides in safely. So Ian Fair started to creep toward home plate, not too far off the bag, but Cardenas opting to be aggressive behind the dish, and he tried to back pick him at third. Regardless, it's 2-1 to Hauver. Trevor was sitting at 11 RBIs for a while, and then 2 nights ago, he hit that home run in the tie against Wareham. 2-1 pitch. Downstairs, ball 3. So that was his 12th RBI of the summer. Solo shot, and he went back-to-back with Jared DeSantillo. In that Wareham doubleheader 2 days ago, both DeSantillo and Hauver, usual starters, got the game off during Game 2, but they came in off the bench and made an impact. Hare now sets right at the belt. 3-1. Fly ball. Straight away left field. Wells backs up a bit, comes in a bit to his right, and he puts it away. So Hauver flies out to left field to end the bottom of the first. Hyannis strands 2, and it's 0-0. No runs, 2 hits, no errors, 2 left on base. We'll go to the second. Whitey 0, Hyannis 0 on the Cape Cod Baseball Network. To the second we go for McKeon Park. Left-handed bat Jack Wold digs into the left side against the righty McCollum, as it's 0-0 through an inning of play. McCollum's ready with the first pitch. He misses away into the right-handed batter's box against the lefty Wold. It's 1-0. So Jack Wold, the 5th guy to come to the plate for Whitey so far today. McCollum lifts the leg, fires. Fastball downstairs. 2 balls and no strikes. Wold, a guy who has some pop in his bat. He's got 3 home runs, 20 runs batted in on the summer. McCollum works from the first base side of the rubber. Pitch, fouled straight back. Gets off the backstop and the padding just behind home plate. Count will move to 2 balls, 1 strike. McCollum looking to put together some quality innings for Hyannis tonight. 2-1 comes in. Fly ball lifted fairly deep left field. Hoffer's got a beat on it. Going back, stays put at the track, and he makes the grab for the first out. So Wold gives one a little bit of a ride the other way. No problem from Hoffer, who shaded it out in left field. The shade just basking over him down the left field line, and he makes the play moving just a bit back for the first out. So here comes Riley King. King, one of 5 right-handed bats in the Whitey lineup tonight. The final 4 hitters in Scott Pickler's lineup all reside from the right side. The righty McCollum comes home. King takes it for a strike, 0-1. So Riley King, third baseman out of the University of Georgia. He redshirted as a true freshman in 2017. As he checks his swing at an off speed, he goes around, 0-2. And King, a guy who isn't exactly an imposing figure inside the box. He's not absolutely towering out over in the right side as he swings away, swing and a miss, strike 3. So that's the second strikeout for Tommy McCollum. King's fanned as there's 2 away for Tate Samuelson. But King did have a good season out at Georgia. 295. He put together 18 extra base hits, 8 of those home runs. So needless to say, Tommy McCollum struck out 2 good bats so far. Tate Samuelson now the hitter. As McCollum fires home, fastball low. King entered today's play hitting .331. As Samuelson wiggles the bat above his back shoulder. Pitch from McCollum, fouled back off the screen. So the Whitey Red Sox, a team that sits in second place in the East Division, sent 4 guys out to the All-Star game out at Eldridge Park. Well, Tommy McCollum's already punched out 2 of them. The 1-1. Fastball breezes the inside corner. It's 1-2. Austin Wells and Riley King were 2. Wyatt Young was the 3rd. Noah Campbell the 4th. Campbell not in the lineup today. So McCollum's ready, the 1-2. That'll miss down low. Everything levels at 2 balls with 2 strikes, 2 outs. 0-0 the score here from McKeon Park. Hyannis playing their final game from their home stadium in 2019. Infield straight up, a little bit back. The 2-2. Breaking ball low. 3 balls, 2 strikes to the righty Samuelson. Trevor Hoffer playing a little bit deep in left. Bryce Teodosio a little in and center. Of course, he covers a lot of ground. 3-2. Fastball high, ball 4. First walk issued today by Tommy McCollum as Tate Samuelson will trot down to first base. He's aboard with 2 away. This will bring up Noah Cardenas. McCollum, a guy who's usually pretty economical. Only allowed 15 walks in his school season. He threw 26 1/3 during his 2019 campaign as a freshman. And he struck out 34 batters. There's no doubt he has the ability to miss some bats. He's already missed 2 tonight, and this will bring up Cardenas. He's had himself a solid summer, 277 bat. But certainly is better known for his defense, as he is one of the best defensive catchers in the Pac-12 Conference. McCollum flips his B move over to first, backstanding up the runner Samuelson. For McCollum, he's walked 5 on the summer and 5 1/3 innings. So command's been a little bit more spotty up here on Cape Cod. Now the first pitch, breaking ball high. Noah Cardenas makes it 1 ball, no strikes. RJ Yeager will await on deck if we get there. But digging back in, the righty Cardenas. He's looking to extend a rally here with 2 outs. The pitch. Check swing at a fastball high. Doesn't go anywhere near around. It'll make it 2-0. And a decent-sized crowd has now filled up the ballpark tonight from McKeon. Again, a lot of Hyannis faithful wanted to come out for the final home game. The bottom level of seats, about 3/4 filled. More of the same with the bleachers down the left field line. 2-0 fastball. That catches the bottom of the zone and the inside corner. 2 balls, 1 strike. And then, as always, there's a bunch of fans set up with lawn chairs down the left field line. That's a town favorite in terms of a place to sit in the ballpark. It's a very natural feel, and can't blame them. Set up some lawn chairs, kick your legs back, and get a bird's eye view of the ball game. 2-1, soft ground ball out to third. Olson charges in, gloves, flips across on the run. That ends the inning. So 1 over the minimum goes Tommy McCollum again. No runs, no hits, no errors. 1 left on. The right-hander's been sharp through 2, and it's Hyannis nothing, Whitey nothing. We'll go to the bottom of the second on the Cape Cod Baseball Network. Six, 7, and 8 coming to the plate for the Harbor Hawks in the bottom of the second inning against the righty Ryan Hare. Lucas Dunn, the Louisville Cardinal, will stride into the right side of the plate. And Hare's back up on the mound for inning number 2. He's ready the first pitch. Line drive right at the shortstop. Wyatt Young gives a flip of the glove, but it's over his head into left field. So Lucas Dunn picks up a base hit on the first pitch. He just fisted one to the left side. Wyatt Young had to move a little bit to his left, leaped up, reached the glove up, but couldn't get there in time as it was just over his head for a leadoff single. So the Louisville Cardinal, who spent a lot of his summer with Team USA, stands aboard at first base. This will bring up Jackson Olson. Hare, the right-hander, works to the stretch, comes home. Olson shows bunt, pulls back, and it's a fastball low. Now, Jackson Olson, a guy who's flashed a good amount of power in batting practice. He says he doesn't really consider himself a power guy. But that didn't stop him last night with his 3-run home run at Falmouth. The 1-0. Fastball down low. 2 balls, no strikes. So dating back to last night, Hyannis put up 4 runs in the top of the 3rd inning. None looming larger than a 3-run bomb from Olson. That was his first of the summer, and it made it what was then 5-2 Hyannis. Hare throws over to first, a hard pickoff move. Tag applied by Wold, but back safely the runner Dunn. Falmouth would later come back to tie that game 5-5. It very well could have been 6-5. But Rowdy Jordan threw a ball to third base that Olson, the man at the plate right now, caught, stepped on the bag, and Troy Claunch, the runner, tagging was called out. 2-0, swing and a miss from the lefty Olson. 2 balls, 1 strike. But again, Rowdy Jordan caught a sac fly in center, threw over to third base. Olson just stepped on the bag, and Claunch was called leaving early for a double play. That would have been the winning run. So 2-1 the count. Dunn with a short lead at first. Hare's going to give him a quick peek, come home, runner takes off. It's spoiled foul to the right side on the ground. But yeah, Brendan, that was just a weird sequence of events last night, and it ended up helping Hyannis for the better.
And it really did, and it was a play that even caught us off guard. I'm not sure any of the fans even realized in attendance what was happening, but Randy Jordan with one of the more heads-up play you'll ever see. And ended up playing Hyannis for the better.
So Jordan knew he didn't have a play at the plate, so instead he threw to third base. And now the righty Ryan Hare throws over to first with Dunn diving back safely. Threw over to third. Clonch was doubled off, and that's how the frame ended. Jackson Olsen, who was the third baseman last night, third baseman tonight, has hits in 8 of his last 11 games. The 2-2. Taps foul to the right side, hooking back toward the Whitey dugout. So 2-2 the count with nobody down. Lucas Dunn kicks some dirt between first and second base as he walks his way back to the pillow at first. 0-0 the score. Hyannis with 3 hits compared to the 1 of YD on the Brad Beasley single back in the top of the first. Hare the stretch and the pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Tag applied by Noah Cardenas to complete the strikeout as Olsen goes back to the dugout. It'll be the first out of the inning for Adam Hackenberg. And the righty Ryan Hare picks up his second strikeout. So Hare's already fanned Jordan Westberg. That was the lead off the bottom of the first. And he just froze Jackson Olsen right there. Hackenberg the hitter. Right-handed bat out of the University of Clemson, doing the catching tonight. Righty Hare's going to throw over to first. Back safely Lucas Dunn. So the Whitey Red Sox enter today's play, sitting with a record of 22, 17, and 3. They're at second place in the West Division with 47 points. Of course, you get 2 points for a win, 1 for a tie, none for a loss. As Hare's going to peek over at Dunn, comes home to Hackenberg, off speed inside. Now, while Hyannis' season is basically all but done, as they have today and tomorrow before the season will come to a wrap, Whitey has some major implications on the line tonight and tomorrow. As Hare the righty comes set at the belt. Pitch to Hackenberg. Fly ball lifted deep left center field. Austin Wells going back, still going. He's got a beat on it, and he makes the catch over the shoulder on the track. Lucas Dunn's going to sprint back to first base. He made his way all the way up to second on the long flyout. But Adam Hackenberg gives one a ride, but just a little bit too under it for the second out of the inning.
Well, you talk about the power threat of these Hyannis bats, and Adam Hackenberg just missed one right there. Sent Austin Wells on his horse all the way back to the track, but able to keep his eye on it the whole way and make the grab.
So Bryce Teodosio is going to step in. But for YD, they're going to be doing some scoreboard watching today. Orleans already won 8-5 over Harwich. And that's a big win for Orleans in the East Division. Pitch to Teodosio, swing and a miss. So now because of that win, Orleans moves to 21, 16, and 4. They sit at 46 points. So the Firebirds with 46 points. The Whitey Red Sox with 47. And the Chatham Anglers still sitting at 48 after they dropped a 7-inning contest to the last place Brewster Whitecaps of the East Division. So everything is really, really neck and neck coming down the wire. Hare throws over to first, Dunn with a head-first dive back safely. Still 0-1 to the Clemson product Teodosio. Pair of Tigers rounding out the 8-9 of the lineup. But for YD, they basically control their own destiny. If they win tonight, they'll take over first place. And if they win tomorrow, they'll stay there. The 0-1 to Bryce. Breaking ball outside. 1 ball, 1 strike. And of course, Hyannis has had a struggling season. Just 7 wins entering tonight's play. And YD's really got a chance to capitalize in their final 2 games with this home and home. 1-1. Teodosio swings away, lifts a towering fly ball into right center. To his left, Beasley. To his right, Samuelson. Beasley calls him off and makes the catch in the gap to end the inning. So that'll do it for the bottom of the second. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, 1 left aboard. Through 2 frames, it's YD 0, Harbor Hawks 0. We'll go to the third when we come back on the Cape Cod Baseball Network.
We bring you back to McKeon Park for action here in the top of the third. YD will send up 9, 1, and 2 in their order. RJ Yeager, Wyatt Young, and Brad Beasley. And it's the starter, Tommy McCullum, back on the hill for Hyannis. He's looked very, very sharp through 2. He's phased 8 and 1 over the minimum in each of his first 2 frames. From the windup, first pitch of the inning, a breaking ball, runs inside, count 1-0. So for McCollum, like Lyle touched upon, just trying to eat up some innings for Chad Gassman. McCollum's longest outing of the season, 3 1/3. As he fires a 1-0, bounding ball toward the left side of the infield. Westberg fields it on the backhand, throw across to fair, in time to get Yeager 1 down. So Yeager makes it an 0 for 1 day. That'll bring up the top of the order and Wyatt Young yet again. And of course, Young, the Pepperdine product, who's been a very, very tough bat to get out all season long. A .349 hitter as he entered the day. Trying to jumpstart a YD offense that's locked in a scoreless ball game 0-0 here at McKeon. YD Red Sox being out hit on the board so far as well, 3-1. Young taking his counts from the left side against the righty McCullum, seeing for the second time as he flares one into shallow left center. Teodosio drifting back after it. He'll coast under it and make the grab. Quickly 2 down. So Tommy McCullum on cruise control. As that'll bring up Brad Beasley, and the Wingate product looking for a quick 1-2-3 frame here in the third. It's been very, very economical, keeping pitches down and low in the zone. It's benefited him to this point in the ball game. Beasley stands in, first offering. Fastball low at the knees. Count 1-0. But for McCollum again, that longest start of the season came in his first appearance against the Cotulla Cavaliers. That was on July the 17th. Comes home with a 1-0 to Beasley. Spiked in the dirt, knocked down by Hackenberg as it rolls to the left. 2 balls, no strikes. That was a 7-6 loss that game against the Cavaliers. McCollum gave up 2 runs on 3 hits, walked 2 and struck out 3. He's 1 shy of that strikeout total. Trying to work back from a 2-0 count as Beasley skies one on the infield. Ian Fair shading the sun, but it'll be Lucas Dunn to get under it and take it to end the inning. So Tommy McCullum, 1-2-3 inning against the top of the YD order. He's looking really good here from McKeon Park. A scoreless ball game with Hyannis back to the dish when we return on the Cape Cod Baseball Network. Top of the Hyannis order to the dish in the bottom of the third. It's Jordan Westberg, Ian Fair, and Hunter Goodman against the UNLV products Ryan Hare. First pitch of the inning, Westberg puts one on the ground towards second, past the glove of Hare on the hill. That'll be Yeager to flip and fire to first in time to retire Westberg, 1 down. So both starters have been set on cruise control through the first couple of frames. And of course, Tommy McCullum has worked 3. Ryan Hare now working into his third with Ian Fair digging it. And again, Lyle brushed over this a bit earlier, but Hare's already seen Hyannis once. He also went 3 1/3. That matches McCullum's longest outing of the season. Kicks and deals to Fair. Fastball good for a strike that nibbles at the inside corner. Fair 1 for 1 on his evening. Single, but was stranded at third back in the first. Hyannis threatened with 2 in scoring position that inning. Unable to bring either around as Fair looks at an off-speed outside. Harris picked up a loss in each of his last 2 appearances. And Hyannis trying to play a bit of spoiler here against these Red Sox, trying to lock up first place with a win here today and tomorrow potentially. Fair stands in a count of 1-1 as Hare quickly takes a step off the rubber, now back on. Looking down towards Cardenas for a sign. Right-hander kicks, steals, Fair swings, bounding ball toward the shortstop Young. To his right, long throw, a first in time. And that gets Fair. Back-to-back grounders to Wyatt Young. Or rather, the middle infielders for YD been busy, Young and Yeager. The 2 Ys in the middle infield for YD. Making a couple of fine plays to begin the inning.
Yeah, and for Wyatt Young, he had to make that throw a long way. Of course, a small guy moving to his right, but he fired an absolute bullet across the diamond to get Fair in plenty of time.
So Ryan Hare trying to match the 1-2-3 inning put up by McCullum just a half frame ago. They'll have to deal with a big bat in Hunter Goodman as Hunter steps in and pops one up into the shallow grass in right field. Coming on the right fielder, that's Samuelson. He'll get under it and make the grab. That ends the inning. Well, for the 3rd inning, like clockwork, both starters going 1-2-3 against each of the top of the orders respectfully. So YD back to the dish. Still scoreless here from McKeon. To the 4th we go on the Cape Cod Baseball Network. The YD Red Sox set to bring up 3, 4, and 5 in the order to the plate in the top of the 4th inning. This game has absolutely flown by to this point. Tommy McCollum, the Wingate starter, back on the hill for inning number 4. He worked a 1-2-3 inning against R.J. Yeager, Wyatt Young, and Brad Beasley in the 3rd. Now he'll face Austin Wells for the 2nd time around. Was able to fan him on strikes the first time. First pitch to him, fastball runs up and away. So a ball and no strikes to Austin Wells. Came in a .322 hitter, 7 home runs, 26 RBIs. Of course, him and Hunter Goodman going head-to-head in the home run battle. 2 of them tied for 4th as Wells swings and punches one foul off the netting straight back. Wells has fallen behind a bit in the RBI races. That's Goodman who sits atop that leaderboard with 35. Goodman nearly picked up another home run as well as a few RBIs yesterday and part of a doubleheader here at McKeon. Swing and a miss from Wells. Count now a ball and 2 strikes as McCollum works himself ahead. But the Memphis Tiger Goodman put a good swing on one to dead center in part of game 1 of the doubleheader against the Falmouth Commodores yesterday. McCollum's 1-2. Pitch in there. Strike 3 called. He got him looking. Tommy McCollum fans Wells for the 2nd time. Strikeout number 3 overall of his outing. And the Wingate starter blows a fastball by the big bat Wells.
Well, McCollum's just had his numbers so far, and Wells a guy who didn't get a hit yesterday. So far, he's 0 for 2 today. He's just struck out twice against the righty McCollum, who's really on so far.
So Carson Taylor, the new hitter to dig in. Looks at a breaking ball just a bit below the zone. Count 1-0. But Tommy McCollum has had a few tricks up his sleeve, and he's shown no fear going right at the big bats in this Red Sox lineup. 1-0. Another breaking ball. That one picks out the spot. Count evens 1-1. Slight breeze blowing out to right center. American flag softly waving in the wind just a bit. Although rest easy now as the 1-1 from McCollum on the way. Fastball just a bit low. So for McCollum, coming into this start, it only picked up 4 strikeouts. And actually, it issued more free passes than he had bunch-outs. But 3 so far in his outing as Carson Taylor will take a quick step out of the box. McCollum just not quite on the same page with Hackenberg right there on a 2-1 count. Hyannis infield playing a bit back. Middle infielder Lucas Dunn about a step onto the outfield grass and right as Carson Taylor chops one to first. Fair behind the bag. He'll field it on a hop and take it to the bag himself for the out. But once again, Tommy McCollum cruising through the 4th inning. Now he'll work against Jack Wold. Well, Jack Wold plays his college ball at UNLV, teammate of starter for the YD Red Sox, Ryan Hare, tonight. He'll take his cuts from the left side, batting in the 5th spot. McCollum strictly from the windup, breaking ball, swing and a miss. Half-hearted wave from Jack Wold. Down on the count of ball, and no balls, 1 strike. Well, just what you could ask for on the final home game here from McKeon Park. A picturesque day. A 1. Breaking ball knocked down on the chest protector of Hackenberg as it trickles off down the 3rd baseline. Lyle touched upon it a bit earlier. A packed house here at McKeon for the final game of the 2019 summer. And it's really, really filled up down that left field line. McCollum from the first base side of the rubber kicks and fires a 1-1. Wold punches one off the end of the bat, off the screen by the Hyannis dugout, foul. Count moves to 1-2. McCollum in line for his 4th strikeout as he works ahead of Jack Wold. Bat resting above his left shoulder. Hackenberg, his glove set high, pitch, fastball, fouled straight back. Well, I'll have to say, this is probably the best crowd that we've seen here at McKeon this season. There's a lot of fans here tonight. Hyannis faithful as well as the YD Red Sox fans making the trip out. 1-2 from McCollum. Fastball roped down the first baseline. That one's foul.
Well, it's certainly close in terms of attendance. If not tonight, the other one you could probably look at was the day before the 4th of July, and it was against these very same Red Sox. So YD and Hyannis just seem to track a lot of fans, and of course some pretty good dates to do it as well.
A good day for a ball game as well. It was a 1-2 to Wold in breaking ball to the wickets of Hackenberg to the backstop, and that's going to be ball, or rather, it's going to get him on the back side of the ankle. And Wold not able to move the back foot out of the way just in time, so McCollum puts one aboard at first by way of a free pass. That'll bring in Riley King with 2 down.
Yeah, Wold just kind of stood there quietly for a second and then just started to run down to first. The home plate umpire for tonight's game, Ken Cyber, ruled that it hit the ankle area of the hitter Wold, so he's awarded first base. McCollum's still been economical, however. That was just one little blip on the radar. Still only faced 1 over the minimum in each inning besides the 3rd, where he was, of course, 1-2-3.
So McCollum forced to work out of the stretch here for the first time in a couple innings as he fires in a breaking ball to King. Rests just inside, 1-0. Of course, the season for Hyannis hasn't been what they've hoped for as they've racked up just 7 wins, but there's been a lot of memorable moments here at McKeon over the course of the summer. McCollum works with a 1-0 count, fires it, pop up right side of the infield, drifting back Ian Fair behind the first base bag, shading the sun a bit, and will make the grab, moving a step to his left. And that retires the side. So McCollum again facing just 1 over the minimum for the 3rd time in 4 innings, but he's able to work around it as it's still scoreless from Hyannis, 0-0, with the Harbor Hawks coming back to the dish in the bottom of the inning on the Cape Cod Baseball Network. Ryan Hare trying to go toe for toe with Tommy McCollum on the hill as he's back for inning number 4 as Jared DeSantelo steps into the box to start things off for Hyannis. Still scoreless here from McKeon Park as the FAU Owl takes a step out, adjusts the gloves before stepping back in. Trevor Hopper and Lucas Dunn set to follow him in the inning. Ryan Hare toes the slab to begin the bottom of the 4th. First pitch, swing and a miss from DeSantelo, 0-1. But Lyle, when you talk about memories from the summer, there's been a lot of them here at McKeon Park over the course of the season. And there's a few that come to mind. A doubleheader sweep over the Bourne Braves earlier in the season. That was a fun day. Of course, back-to-back days with 2 home runs in a row as DeSantelo swings and lifts one foul left side. That'll get out of play. Count no balls and 2 strikes. And my personal favorite was Bryce Teodosio climbing the wall out there in right center and taking a home run back. That was back to flip the calendar back to a month. That was in June. DeSantelo from the left side, 0-2 count. Fastball runs away.
Yeah, that's as good of a play as he's made all summer. I mean, the catch in Bourne was phenomenal. He's had some pretty great plays this summer, but that home run he took away was ridiculous. That was Nico Cavadas, too. Little did we know he'd lead the league in home runs.
1-2 to Jared. Breaking ball just outside. And it's funny, when you mention the name Nico Cavadas, the big bat from Harwich from Notre Dame, leading the league in home runs, and he was absolutely spectacular this season, a part of the Home Run Derby festivities. Along with Hunter Goodman as well, a member of Hyannis. Hair black glove in front of the face. A 2-2 count to DeSantelo. The pitch. Fastball outside. Count swells full.
Well, it's funny. Cavadas has 9 home runs. He had 1 home run earlier in that doubleheader, too. He could have had 10 had it not been for maybe the best defensive outfielder in the country.
3-2. DeSantelo swings and sends it foul to the left side. That gets off the screen into foul ground. And that just shows you how much talent there is, and you never know who'll be the guy to perhaps steal a base hit or even a home run in the case of Cavadas. But Teodosio's made a couple breathtaking plays this summer. DeSantelo in the box, still fighting on 3-2. Fouls off another one. That gets into the screen, hanging tough with 2 strikes against Hare, forcing him to sweat a little bit to start the 4th inning. Well, Lyle, you've been here for 2 years now, and this is your final home game here at McKeon. And I don't mean to put you on the spot, but if there's a favorite moment that you have to pick out from the 2 summers that you've spent here in Hyannis. 3-2. DeSantelo pop up shallow on the infield, drifting back to second baseman Yeager. He'll have no problem ranging to his right to haul that one in. DeSantelo's gone for out number 1, but that'll bring in Trevor Hopper. And if you had to pick out just one moment over the course of the 2 summers, what would it be?
Well, it's tough. If you're going to focus on this season to stay on the course of your topic, I mean, there's definitely been some great moments. The guy who's stepping to the plate right now, Trevor Hopper, he had that grand slam in Falmouth, and that was a big win, 10-4 over the Commodores. If you want to pick another in terms of 2019, I mean, that ball that Hunter Goodman hit in that second game of the doubleheader against Bourne, Hopper takes a strike. That home run that he hit was probably the longest one we've seen this year. I mean, that ball was crushed. We knew the kid had power, but that ball was absolutely obliterated, and that was only one of his 7 home runs.
One to DeSantelo misses outside, and we've seen Hunter Goodman in batting practice every day, and some of the fans at home can come to the ballpark and see him time and time again, but we've been fortunate to see him hit every single day in batting practice. So 1-1 to Hopper, misses high. And he just has some otherworldly power. I mean, it is absolutely ridiculous, some of the balls he puts out. And even today, the guys were having fun down on the field with the home run derby earlier. And, of course, Goodman, you can count on him putting some balls out of the yard, and that's exactly what he did. 2-1 to Trevor. Rope down the right field line. That'll get fair and roll into the corner. Hopper's going to hit the bag at first and turn the legs for second. And Samuelson fires it back into the second baseman, Yeager. Sliding in safely, Trevor Hopper. Ropes one past the first baseman, Wold into the corner, and cruises into scoring position with 1 down for Lucas Dunn.
That's a nice piece of contact from Hopper. He just squares one up down the right field line. He stands in at second base with a double. So Hopper, a guy who's been here 2 summers. He hit 267 in his first summer. And he picks up a double right there. But Goodman, an even cooler story than just a power bat, because he came in as a temp player. He stuck around all summer, made the All-Star game, made the home run derby. You find stories like that on every team every summer. Hunter Goodman just one of many.
So Lucas Dunn will step in from the right side. 1 for 1 with the single, but he's got a man in scoring position this time around. First pitch from Hare, breaking ball outside. Cardenas behind the plate, picking it on the backhand. And you mentioned cool stories like that. Jacob Teeter, another one who Hyannis just saw a couple nights ago in Wareham. A guy that comes from Florida Southern, and had a couple of goals on the season. I think we talked about it on the broadcast then. But had 2 goals to stay on the team and prove he could hang around and to make the All-Star team, and he checked off both those boxes. Dunn looks at a fastball down and away, 2-0. Max Troiani, another one in Orleans. Division II guy coming up here on Cape Cod and making a name for himself. Still just has 1 extra base hit. I still can't wrap my head around that number. 42 singles on the summer. But anyway, you can find yourself aboard as Dunn works with a 2-0 count against the right-hander Hare. Couple looks back to Hover at second, now comes home. Fastball runs downstairs again, and Dunn puts himself in the driver's seat 3-0.
Do you know he was supposed to have some high-level banking internship before he came here?
Really?
He was supposed to be like an intern at a bank. He got offered to play in the Cape League. They said, you can take your 2 weeks and go play. Then he sticks around and says, you know what? I got my whole life to work in an office. I'm going to play the rest of my summer in Cape Cod.
Well, heck, why not? As Dunn gears up for the 3-0. Fastball runs inside. That's ball 4. So after the double from Hover, Lucas Dunn follows that up, getting on board himself at first. That'll bring in Jackson Olsen for the second time around with 2 on and 1 down. And I actually did not know that. That's an interesting story because, of course, Bentley University, where Triani attends, a great business school. So it makes a lot of sense where he had an internship lined up. But obviously, if you can have the opportunity to play baseball up here, you'll take it.
Yeah, and now he's one of those guys it's like we kind of talked about Ian Fair, Troiani in that same boat where maybe their draft stock wasn't through the roof when they came here, but now they've made a name for themselves. Again, it happens every summer.
Olsen swings at the first pitch, a grounder through the wickets of Wold into right field. Hover's going to get the wave from Gassman around third. He's coming home. He'll cross the plate, no problem, to make it 1-0 Hyannis. Jackson Olsen puts a hot shot on the ground, and Wold unable to come up with it down the first baseline. That'll put men on the corners for Hyannis with still just 1 out, and they've snatched a lead against the Red Sox here at home, 1-0.
Well, for Olsen, he just gets a little bit lucky. He hit one hard to the right side, but Wold just couldn't get the glove down in time as it brings in the runner Hover from second base, and Hyannis strikes first here in the 4th inning.
Well, Jackson Olsen, you mentioned it, 8 hits in his last 11 games. Finds himself aboard here in the 4th inning and puts a run across on the board. That's Trevor Hover that came in to score. Lucas Dunn was pushed 90 feet away. He's at third. Now Adam Hackenberg steps in with an RBI chance. The Clemson Tiger 0 for 1. There was a fly out to left field the first time around for him as he stands in from the right side. Pitch, fastball outside, 1-0. So for Hyannis, they're just trying to have a little bit of fun down the stretch, playing on borrowed time for the rest of the season. And a chance to play some spoiler against these Red Sox, who are playoff bound in the Eastern Division, of course, seeding up for grabs. There's 1-0. Breaking ball, that tails and catches the inside corner. Ball on a strike to Hackenberg as he taps the cleats with the bat as he steps back in. Adams averages dip below 200 as he entered the ballgame at 177. 2 home runs, 5 RBIs, but a chance for a 6. Air fires a 1-1. Big swing and a miss. Hackenberg nearly came out of his shoes on that one. A fastball up in the zone. It's a ball and 2 strikes with 1 away. A Hare guy that won't blow you away with high 90s, but he can be effective when he needs to be. Trying to fan Hackenberg for a much-needed second out. Hyannis threatening here in the 4th. Already pushed 1 across. Spinning a fire back to first. In safe with the runner, Jackson Olsen. So Adam trying to double the lead on the board. Hyannis has put up 4 hits. YD just has 1. Harbor Hawks trying to give starter Tommy McCollum a bit of a cushion when he comes back out for the 5th pitch. 1-2. Hackenberg spoils it away. Foul off to the right. Of course, home runs have been the name of the game for Hyannis over the last couple of nights. And we talk about batting practice power with Hunter Goodman. Another guy waiting on deck with some major pop in the bat. That's Bryce Teodosio. Double play is in order. Middle infielders for YD shaded a bit toward the second base bag. 1-2. Fastball, that misses away. RJ Yeager shaded well toward the second base bag. Just a few feet to the right of the pillow. A big hole on the right side for Hackenberg should he be able to punch one through. Hare set with the sign at 2-2. Hackenberg swing and a miss, strike 3. Down he goes, a third strikeout of the ball game for Ryan Hare. And a big, much-needed out for the second one on the board. That'll bring in Bryce Teodosio as Cardenas out from behind the plate, just going over some signs with the infield. So Lucas Dunn still at third, Olsen at first. Men on the corners and 2 down for the Clemson Tigers. He steps in. Bryce, a 197 hitter. 0 for 1 on his night so far. Fly out to center in the second inning. Hare trying to escape any Harbor Hawk further trouble as he spins and fires back to first. Olsen gives a head first dive in safely. Why the outfielder shaded a bit back with Teodosio in the box. Bryce bat above his shoulder as Hare comes set. Pitch. Teodosio pops one up into the air on the right side of the infield. Drifting back R.J. Yeager onto the grass. He'll squeeze it above the cap to make the catch and end the inning. So Hyannis puts one on the board. Trevor Hauber comes around to give Hyannis a 1-0 lead. Hyannis also strands 2 in the inning, however, with Windy coming back to the dish in the top of the 5th inning when we return on the Cape Cod Baseball Network.
Bottom third of the Red Sox lineup coming to the plate to begin the bottom of the 5th. With the error from Jack Wold in the bottom of the 4th, Hyannis plated their first run of the day and first run from either side in the ballgame. Trevor Hauber came around to score and made it 1-0. Tommy McCollum, the 6'5" right-hander, back on the mound as he gets the sign, comes home to Samuelson, who files one straight back. Samuelson yet to record an official at-bat today. Walked and was stranded at first back in the top of the 2nd. McCollum has been really, really sharp through 4 frames. Works from the first base side of the rubber. Wind up in the 0-1 pitch. Ground ball hits softly to the second baseman, Dunn. Moves to his right. Fires over to first base in time. So Dunn with an easy play, just fielding it, taking a step to his right side, and flips it over to Ian Fair for the first out. This will bring up Noah Cardenas, catcher out of UCLA. And for McCollum, in 3 of the 4 innings, he's faced 1 over the minimum. In the 3rd inning, he went 1-2-3. He now gets the sign from the catcher Hackenberg. Pitch to Cardenas, breaking ball low. So through 4 1/3, he's given up 1 hit, no runs, 1 walk, and 3 strikeouts. This is a guy who didn't make a single start in his freshman year at Wingate. The 1-0. Ground ball hit sharply to the left side. Backhanded by Westberg in the hole. Turns, fires to first in time. Wow. Jordan Westberg out in short left field. Backhands it going to his right and fires a bullet to Ian Fair across the diamond for the out.
And that's about just as good as it gets. That is absolutely spectacular by Westberg. Ranging to his right, had a long way to go. Snuck the glove down, made the backhanded stop. Planted his back foot and fired to Ian Fair at first for the out. Man, that's a heck of a play.
So McCollum gets a little bit of help behind him as the pitch to R.J. Yeager comes in. It's a breaking ball downstairs. What a play from Jordan Westberg. I mean, he was deep in the hole at shortstop. He was well out onto the grass in left field. The 1-0 misses down low. 2 balls, no strikes. And Tommy McCollum, as a result, just continues to cruise. But Westberg just made that play look easy. I mean, that was such a tough play. It was an off-balance throw, but he made it look easy. The 2-0 from the righty McCollum clips the outside corner 2-1.
That's a web gem if I've ever seen one, and that's about as fine a play as Westberg's made all season, and he's made some really tough ones, but he made that look so easy. So graceful.
Now McCollum's 2-1. Yeager swings away, lifts one deep center field. Back goes Teodosio, still running. Now eases off the throttle, reaches up, makes the grab. So Teodosio tracks one down in the gap in left center, and he had it all the way. Didn't you know it? For Tommy McCollum, he goes 1-2-3 in the top of the 5th inning. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left on. The right-hander out of Wingate has gone 5 scoreless, and Hyannis will go to the bottom of the 5th. Hyannis 1, YD nothing on the Cape Cod Baseball Network. To the bottom of the 5th we go for McKeon Park. It'll be the top of the lineup for the Harbor Hawks coming to the plate with a 1-0 lead. With that, Scott Pickler opts to go to the bullpen. He'll bring in the sidewinder right-hander Carlos Lamelli out of St. Mary's University. 6'1", 200-pounder, set to make his 9th appearance of the summer and his 6th out of the bullpen. His last outing, he went 1 inning, gave up 2 earned runs on 4 hits, 1 walk, 1 strikeout. He gets set. Roxon delivers the first pitch to Westberg, a sweeping breaking ball but misses too far away. So the night of Ryan Hare ends. Right-hander from UNLV goes 4 innings, gives up 1 earned run on 4 hits, 1 walk, 3 strikeouts. 1-0. Breaking ball inside, moved to 2 balls, no strikes. Now, Brendan, if we want to continue this trend here on the broadcast about talking about memorable moments from the summer, this guy at the plate right now has represented a lot of them. 2-0. Fastball at the knees for a called strike. I mean, Westberg came into the Hyannis roster, or came onto the Hyannis roster about a day after the 4th of July, and he just lit the world on fire from the time he stepped on the field. 2-1. Line drive into right field. Back goes the right fielder. Samuelson drops behind him, and it's going to get to the fence. Westberg around first. He's thinking second base. He slows up, steps on the pillow right there. And the Mississippi State Bulldog has a leadoff double to begin the bottom of the 5th inning.
Well, right on cue. You talk about setting the world on fire, and that's what the Hyannis offense has started to do over the course of the last couple of games. That's the 5th hit on the board. Westberg taking one opposite field to right, and he just continues to hit the ball so well this summer.
That's his 10th extra base hit. Austin Wells of YD has 20, but he's played double the time that Westberg has this summer. And again, for Westberg, I mean, we've touched on it so many times, but the fact that he came in and started 12 for his first 20 with those 5 extra base hits, the 3 home runs in 2 days, I mean, that was just absurd. The righty Lamelli checks the runner, pitch to fair. It's a called strike on a breaking ball. But this guy has provided a lot of memorable moments.
And it was almost unthinkable to think that that streak would continue, but it just every time he stepped up to the plate, he seemed to find a new way to get on, and it was just an unbelievable show to watch. Talk about an opening act.
Lamelli back picks to second base on a pickoff move, back safely the runner Westberg. But again, the guy's resume is so strong and so bulky. I mean, where do you want to start? Last summer, he played in the Perfect Game League, and it was too easy for him. 368 average with 11 extra base hits. Fair swings away, lofts one foul to the right side. He stole 8 bases. He had a .505 on-base percentage. And then he comes to Hyannis. He's had himself one heck of a summer as well. So again, Westberg's 10th extra base hit. That's his 6th double as he stands at second base. Ian Fair, the hitter, with his Harbor Hawks garnering a 1-0 lead. Lamelli checks the runner a couple times, comes home, swing and a miss, strike 3. Fair down on strikes for the first out of the bottom of the 5th, and the righty Lamelli picks up his first strikeout of the evening. So 1 away. This will bring up Hunter Goodman. Goodman today 1 for 2, single and a fly out to right field. So Lamelli, just off the mound, he's checking on Westberg at second base. He stepped a little bit to our right of the rubber. Now he steps back on as Goodman wipes some sweat off his face and flips his bat out toward the mound a couple times. Lamelli looking at Westberg, now comes home. Breaking ball, cut and a miss from Goodman. 0-1 the count. Now, if you want to talk about another Goodman moment, we talked about his home run in Bourne. He obliterated one to dead center at Red Wilson. And again, I know it's a short fence. The pitch comes in. Fastball for a called strike, just touches the inside corner. But that Goodman home run that he hit at Red Wilson Field would have gotten out anywhere. Anywhere.
Oh, no question about it. It was an absolutely towering blast, and Goodman's not worried about any fence. He has enough power to get it out just about any park.
The righty Lamelli comes home. Goodman checks his swing, goes way around, and that's strike 3. Back-to-back punch-outs for the righty Lamelli, has 2 down in the bottom of the frame as Goodman bites his jersey walking back to the dugout.
Yeah, he knows he chased one that he probably shouldn't have, and it was a high fastball from Lamelli, and he enticed Goodman just enough to get the head of the bat through the zone, and that's all he needed to pick up his second strikeout.
So Jared DeSantillo will work his way into the left side. He's 0 for 2 today. Ground out to second and a pop out to second. The stretch in the pitch. Popped up left side. Riley King giving chase. Goes back to his right and he makes the catch on the run, running down the left field line. So that'll end the bottom of the 5th frame. Jordan Westberg with the leadoff double, but he's stranded there. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, 1 left on. We're through 5. It's Hyannis 1, Red Sox nothing. We'll go to the 6th when we come back on the Cape Cod Baseball Network. Top of the Red Sox order coming to the plate to begin the 6th frame here from McKeon Park. So it'll be Wyatt Young, followed by Brad Beasley and Austin Wells, set to face the righty Tommy McCollum for the 3rd time around. Wyatt Young's 0 for 2 today. He's wiggling his bat above his back shoulder as the righty McCollum rocks and fires, fastball down low. So McCollum has been an absolute buzzsaw in his start tonight. 5 frames, just 1 hit, no runs. And he doesn't look like he's slowing down. The 1-0 to the lefty Young, popped up left side on the infield. Olsen chasing into foul territory. Westberg behind him moving to his right. He calls him off and makes the play. So Westberg shades his way into foul ground, takes charge on the left side of the infield, and makes the grab for the first out. So McCollum's got it working right now. 1 down. This will bring up Brad Beasley, who has the only hit. McCollum still working from the windup, right side of the rubber. He comes home. Fastball, called strike at the belt. 0-1 the count. So McCollum's now retired 5 straight. The next pitch to Beasley. Outside. Count will move to 1 ball, 1 strike. He's retired 11 of his last 12 as well. Now the 1-1. Breaking ball low. Count runs to 2 balls, 1 strike against the Cal Poly right-handed bat. And again for YD, a ball club that left 60 runners on base over the course of their last 7 games. Hasn't really had many runners on base to even work with tonight. McCollum gets the sign from the catcher Hackenberg, comes home. Fastball, called strike right at the knees. 2 balls, 2 strikes to Beasley with 1 down. Hyannis leading 1-0. The only run on the board, courtesy of a Jack Wold error on a ground ball from Jackson Olsen that scored Trevor Hauver from second after a double. McCollum, the righty ready, the 2-2 on the way. Called strike 3 on the outside corner. Tommy McCollum makes it his 3rd strikeout of the night, and there's 2 away for Austin Wells. So Wells will dig in from the left side. Or rather, that's the 4th strikeout for the righty, Tommy McCollum. He's punched out Wells twice. He got Riley King. He just got Brad Beasley. Wind up in the offering. Fastball upstairs. 1 ball, no strikes. So half his strikeouts have come to one of the 3 best players in all of Cape Cod. The 1-0 from the righty McCollum misses outside. And again, McCollum's a guy that did not throw in terms of longevity at his school season at Wingate. He never went more than 3 innings. As he's ready with the 2-0. Wells watches a breaking ball fall into the zone. It's 2 balls, 1 strike. Additionally, here during his time on Cape Cod, 3 1/3 innings was his longest outing to date. This is only his 3rd start of the summer, but by far the deepest. 2-1. Fastball, that misses just inside. 3 balls, 1 strike the count. McCollum's only given up 1 walk today. 2 free passes if you include the hit-by pitch to Jack Wold. Tommy McCollum, the righty, takes a breath, fires home to the lefty Wells. Breaking ball hits the zone at the top for strike 2. 3-2 with 2 outs. Awaiting on deck if we get there, the switch hitting Carson Taylor. 1-0 Hyannis the score. The windup in the payoff pitch. Ground ball hit on a couple hops to Lucas Dunn right at second. He fields glove side, flings over to first, inning over. 6 shutout innings for the righty Tommy McCollum. And he's putting together one heck of a start in the final game at McKeon Park for Hyannis. In the 6th inning, no runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left on base. We'll go to the bottom of the 6th. It's Hyannis 1, YD nothing on the Cape Cod Baseball Network. Trevor Hauver, Lucas Dunn, and Jackson Olsen, the 5, 6, 7 coming to the plate for the Harbor Hawks in the bottom of the 6th frame. Right-hander Carlos Lamelli out of St. Mary's is back to the hill for the Red Sox. It'll be his first time seeing the lefty bat Hauver. The first pitch misses outside, or rather called strike on the outside corner. It's 0-1. Hauver today 1 for 2, double and a run scored and a fly out to left. Now the 0-1. This is down low. It's 1 ball, 1 strike. So Hauver's got one of the 5 Hyannis hits so far today. He picked up his 6th extra base hit, 4th double, and at bat a go. So a fastball from the sidewinder Lamelli clips the outside corner. It's 1-2. So Lamelli, a guy that's very deceptive, works out of the stretch at times despite nobody being on base. Now he goes back to the windup. He kind of flip-flops. The 1-2. Swung on and pops foul left side. This will find the crowd. Slight wind blowing out in right center field. The American flag blowing back and forth ever so gently. Lamelli already 2 punch outs today. Now the 1-2. Swung on and hit foul. Same area to the left side just beyond home plate. And this will find the parking lot. So for Carlos Lamelli, he had a 3.05 ERA in his 2019 campaign. As the right-hander's ready, the 1-2. Swinging a cue ball foul to the left side. Hauver just gets it right off the end of the bat. It's fielded by Chad Gassman outside the third base coaching box. And Trevor Hauver will stay alive with a 1-2 count. I mean, Lamelli was really solid as a sophomore in 2019. 10-2 record with a 3.05 ERA, 88 2/3 innings pitched. Now the 1-2. Called strike 3 at the bottom of the zone. Breaking ball freezes Hauver for the first out of the inning. And Lamelli's made it a trio of strikeouts here in his relief appearance. So he's now retired 4 straight. This will bring up Lucas Dunn. So Dunn, the right-handed bat out of Louisville. He steps in against the righty Lamelli. Pitch to Dunn. Line drive up the middle. This gets past Lamelli and into center field. Lucas Dunn picks up a 1-out single. That's his 2nd hit of the day, 3rd time reaching base. And he's aboard for Jackson Olsen with just 1 down. So Olsen steps into the left side. Again, fresh off his first home run of the season in the 3rd to last game Hyannis will play. That came back last night. Lamelli will now work back to the stretch permanently with a runner on. Pitch, ground ball right back to Lamelli on the mound. Fires to second for 1. Wyatt Young return throw to first, double play. 1-6-3 twin kill and go the Red Sox as Lamelli fields it on a hop, fires to Wyatt Young, the shortstop covering second base, then flings it to first for an inning-ending double play. We're through 6 frames. Hyannis leads 1-0 over the Road Town Red Sox. And we'll go to the top of the 7th on the Cape Cod Baseball Network. To the top of the 7th we go. Whitey sends their middle of the order to the plate. 4-5-6 coming up. Leading things off, Carson Taylor, switch hitting bat out of Virginia Tech. And Chad Gassman opts to go to the bullpen. He'll bring in the right-hander Landon Kelly out of Memphis. As he gets the sign, rocks and fires home. Soft ground ball over to the first baseman Fair. Backhands on 2 hops, takes it himself to the bag, and he wins the foot race 1 down. So 1 pitch, 1 out for the right-hander Landon Kelly. The night of Tommy McCollum ends after 6 innings. He gives up 1 run, or 1 hit, no runs, 1 walk, no strikeouts. The best start any Hyannis Arms turned in this summer. He was marvelous. Now it brings up Jack Wold. Pitch from Kelly. Fastball dots the outside corner. It's 0-1. For Landon Kelly, he'll be making his 5th appearance, 4th out of the bullpen. 0-1 with a 4.76 ERA. Rocks and fires the 0-1. Ground ball hit on 2 hops to Dunn at second. Fields at the neck level. Throws over to Ian Fair at first in time. So in the blink of an eye, Landon Kelly's come into the ballgame and picked right back up where McCollum left off. There's 2 down very quickly. This will bring up right-handed bat Riley King. King today 0 for 2. Struck out, popped out to first base. Now the first pitch from Kelly. Pop up right side. Ian Fair's going to give chase. Running a long way a bit to his left. He watches it sail out of play. So Kelly, 6'1" right-handed arm, hails from Memphis, a teammate of Hunter Goodman who resides in right field. Usually his battery mate at school, and sometimes during the summer here in Cape Cod. But Goodman's played a nice balance of both catcher and corner outfield this summer. As Kelly's ready back on the mound, pitch to Riley King. This is down low. It's 1 ball, 1 strike. Goodman, of course, leading the Cape League with 35 RBIs on the summer. He's been sitting there for a nice while now. The 1-1 comes in. Breaking ball down low. But to put it into perspective, sure, he's been sitting there for a few games. But Jeremy Idens of UCLA last summer, who played for the Wareham Gatemen, led the league with 34 RBIs at the end of the season. The 2-1. Fastball right at the bottom of the zone, called strike 2. Some of the Red Sox fans don't like that call, but that'll level the count. But for Hunter Goodman, keeping touch on these stories, kid who came in as a temp player and absolutely set things on fire for Hyannis. The 2-2. Fastball low. And the average didn't know he'd start so high for him. That took a little while to come around, but now he's top 10 in the league in hits. He's top 5 in home runs. And he's number 1 in RBIs. The 3-2. Ground ball right side. Dunn to his right, backhands on 2 hops. Fires over to Fair at first, inning over. So Landon Kelly, once again, picking up right where McCollum left off. 1-2-3 inning in the top of the 7th. No runs, no hits, no errors. Nobody left on. We'll go to the bottom of the 7th. It's Hyannis 1, YD 0 on the Cape Cod Baseball Network.
Hyannis set to bring up 8, 9, and 1 in the order to the plate in the bottom of the 7th inning. YD turns to their second arm out of the bullpen. It's High Point University product Jacob Winger. He comes on in relief of Carlos Lamelli. There were 2 scoreless innings, giving up just 2 hits. Didn't walk anybody, struck out 3. And this has been a pitcher's duel to its finest. Here at McKeon Park tonight, they score 1-0. Hyannis up on top of the visiting YD Red Sox. Adam Hackenberg steps in and looks at a strike on the outside corner, count of 0-1. So for Hackenberg tonight, 0 for 2. Coming to the plate for the 3rd time as he swings it from the right side. Bat above his shoulder, Winger fires, comes home. Off-speed delivery, swing and a miss from Hackenberg. No balls and 2 strikes. So for Winger, this is his 11th appearance in a YD Red Sox uniform. 0-0 record and a minuscule ERA of 1.10. He has been mightily effective out of the YD Red Sox pen as he fires an 0-2 fastball to Hackenberg, spoiled away off to the right. 16 1/3 innings pitched for Winger so far this summer. 21 strikeouts, 6 walks, and 9 hits given up along the way. So Adam trying to jumpstart something from the bottom of the Hyannis lineup in the 7th. Winger from the stretch, kicks and deals, swing and a miss, strike 3. So in the blink of an eye, Hackenberg goes down for strikeout number 1 for Winger on his outing, fresh out of the bullpen. Starts off on the right foot as Bryce Teodosia will dig in. So Bryce coming up for the 3rd time as well. He's also 0 for 2. Getting the nod for Gassman in the lineup tonight. Out at the number 9 hole and playing center field. Seeing Winger for the first time. He kicks and fires. That's a fastball that paints the outside black for a strike, 0-1. So Winger again plays his college ball at High Point University. He has been absolutely marvelous for the YD Red Sox out of the pen. Teodosio pitch, breaking ball down and in. Count evens a ball and a strike. So for Winger, it's been a nice clean summer, and while his campus at High Point also pretty nice and clean, and a sparkling one at that. 1-1 offering to Teodosio, swing, half-hearted wave and a miss. Through an off-speed delivery down and away.
Do you know a lot about High Point, Brendan? It's okay if you don't. It's a
No,
small
I don't.
school.
I'll be honest, I don't.
Well, it resides in North Carolina. That place is literally a country club with a university inside of it. I mean, the place literally looks like a country club from how nice it is.
1-2 to Bryce. Pitch. Pop up. Under the shallow grass in right. Drifting back to second baseman Yeager. The right fielder Samuelson will call him off, though, and make the grab. So 2 down as Teodosio's retired. He's 0 for 3 with 3 flyouts on the board. That'll turn things back over to Jordan Westberg at the top of the order. But I've heard about High Point a little bit. I don't know that much about it, but I've heard the campus is absolutely gorgeous.
Okay, nothing more than what I'm about to tell you. So they preach like good manners and teaching their students life skills at their school. So as a result, they've implemented a system where students get 1 free meal at an on-campus 5-star steakhouse every single week to teach them good manners. Like that's not a joke.
First pitch to Westberg, fastball down and in, and that leaves me speechless. Wow,
No,
that's unbelievable.
That was the first place I ever toured on a college tour, and my parents were like, "This is the rest of the tours are not going to be like this,
right?
Not even close."
1-0 to Westberg, breaking ball dropped in, but just outside off the outer part of the plate. Count 2-0 to Westberg, and you didn't go there. Why?
Well, I mean, there's a handful of reasons.
You get a meal at a 5-star steakhouse. That happens maybe once a year if you're lucky. 2-0 to Westberg. Dribbler off the end of the bat out towards second base. Yeager comes in slightly to his left, throw to first in time, inning over. So just like that, a 1-2-3 inning for the YD Red Sox against the Harbor Hawks, shutting their bats down. And that's what you've come to expect in this ballgame. It's been cruising along. Harbor Hawks 1, Red Sox nothing. We'll go to the 8th on the Cape Cod Baseball Network. We bring you back to McKeon Park for action in the top of the 8th inning. The YD Red Sox set to bring the bottom third of their order to the dish. Against reliever Landon Kelly, it's been one arm out of the pen for Chad Gassman in relief of Tommy McCollum, who worked 6 scoreless frames. He was absolutely magnificent. Tate Samuelson, Noah Cardenas, and R.J. Yeager, the 3 to come to the plate. It's been no runs on 1 hit so far for YD, and this Hyannis pitching staff, who has struggled throughout the season, has been keeping quiet, one of the hottest offenses on the Cape all summer. Off-speed pitch missed high to start the inning off to Tate Samuelson. Landon Kelly working from the first base side of the rubber. Fires the 1-0 fastball, sent down the third baseline. That'll get fouled toward the Hyannis pen. So for Tate Samuelson, he's been aboard once. He worked a free pass. The lone hit for the YD Red Sox came from number 2 hitter Brad Beasley. That was in the first inning, a single. But nothing more to speak of for the Red Sox bats as they try and get going as Samuelson pokes another one down the third baseline toward the Hyannis pen. Nice play from Cole Pletka down there. 1 ball and 2 strikes the count to Samuelson. A .235 hitter as he entered the night. Taking his cuts on the right side against Memphis Tiger Landon Kelly. 1-2 pitch. Fastball tails too far out of the zone. Hackenberg couldn't give him the frame as he caught it on the backhand, sweeping across the plate. So Landon Kelly worked a 1-2-3 frame back in the 7th. That was his first inning of relief. 2-2. Samuelson swings, drives it to deep left field. Hover back toward the wall, reaches up and makes the catch over the bill of the cap. Samuelson put a charge into that one into left field. Straight away left as Haber ranged back toward the subway banner and made the grab for out number 1. That'll bring in Noah Cardenas. Or rather, a pinch hitter for YD. So Cardenas' day comes to a close. This will be outfielder Jake Palmer. Hackenberg trots out to the mound to give Kelly the scouting report on him. So Noah Cardenas' day ends after a couple groundouts for him. This will be Jake Palmer who'll take his place. Palmer bats from the left side. Adjusts the bill with the helmet. Now taps the plate once with the bat and steps in. Kelly's first pitch. Fastball at the knees. Just a bit low. Count a ball and no strikes. And Kelly looking to rebound off of what was a tough outing July the 28th. Here at McKeon against the Wareham Gatemen. That was a 7-1 loss. And Kelly took the decision in that game as he misses with a fastball pushed off the outer edge of the plate. 2 balls and no strikes to Jake Palmer. Kelly worked 4 innings in that one. He got the start in that game. Gave up 4 runs on 4 hits. Walked 1 and struck out 4. From the windup, the 2-0. Fastball spots up the outside corner. Runs the count to 2-1 on Palmer with R.J. Yeager waiting on deck. Kelly trying to work through the 8th inning and get Hyannis back to the dish with a chance for some insurance. Comes home with a 2-1. Fastball that brushes back Palmer off the plate a little bit. 3 balls and 1 strike. This game has been absolutely cruising along. 7:40 p.m. Eastern Time. First pitch was at 6 o'clock on the dot. Here we are, an hour and 40 minutes into the game. Already working into the late frames. Kelly's 3-1. Fastball off the end of the bat toward the shortstop, Westberg. Fields glove side, onto the infield grass, throw to fair in time. So Kelly able to induce some soft contact to Westberg at short. He's been a bit busy over there. And now for YD, another pinch hitter. This will be pitcher Eric Tolman. A 2-way player from Arizona State, a Sun Devil stepping in. And last time Tolman came here to McKeon Park, he blasted one off of another 2-way player, Mitch McIntyre, who was on the mound during that inning. He put one off the new scoreboard out there in right center. And for Tolman, that was one of 2 home runs that he's had on the summer. Pitch, swung on, bouncing ball foul toward the YD dugout. That'll get out of play. Skipping through a crack in the fence down there. So R.J. Yeager's day ends after going 0 for 2. He bounced one to short and flew out to center in his 2 cuts. A 1 pitch to Tolman on the ground, first base side, past the bag, foul. So for Landon Kelly, Memphis Tiger, that worked 4 innings in his last appearance. That was his longest outing of the season. And prior to that, He'd gone an inning and a third against the Bourne Braves, and his first 2 appearances in a Hyannis uniform went 3 innings each. Trying to eat up some innings for Gassman here in the 8th, as this one is on the ground to Westberg again. Same spot in the infield, off balance throw to first is in time to retire the side. Jordan Westberg flashing the leather a couple times to end action in the top of the 8th inning. Hyannis still holds the lead 1-0 here at home at McKeon Park. We'll go to the bottom of the inning when we return on the Cape Cod Baseball Network. Action resumes from McKeon Park in the bottom of the 8th inning. This is Ian Fair stepping into the box, taking his cuts for the 4th time around against new pitcher Oscar Carvajal. Carvajal making his 7th appearance out of the pen, all in relief for the YD Red Sox. 2-0 record of 3.24 ERAs. Fair waves and misses through a breaking ball down in the zone. No balls and 2 strikes. So for Ian Fair, it's been a 1-for-3 day. He's picked up hits in 18 of his last 20 ball games. Carvajal's 0-2, fastball that rides high, way out of the zone. Fair not even having to think about going around on that one. So an abundance of defensive changes for the YD Red Sox in the field. Tate Samuelson slides in from right field. He goes to second base in favor of R.J. Yeager. Jake Palmer resides out in right field to take over for Samuelson. Fair swings and misses. Throw down in the dirt, but Cardenas able to gather behind the plate and retire Fair for the first out. They'll bring in Hunter Goodman with nobody on and 1 down. First strikeout for Carvajal. That's his 13th on the summer. Hunter Goodman, also a 1-for-3 day. A strikeout victim his last time as well. He'll take his cuts from the right side, seeing Carvajal for the first time. Right-hander from Fresno State sets and fires. Fastball up and in. So Carvajal coming off his last appearance July the 26th. That was a game in which the Red Sox played to a draw with the Harwich Mariners 4-4. That was out at White House Field. 1-0 to Goodman. Breaking ball low. Carvajal worked an inning in that ball game. No runs on 1 hit. Didn't walk anybody and struck out 1. Matter of fact, Carvajal has yet to allow a run in each of his last 3 appearances as he comes home to Goodman on 2-0. Swing and a miss from the Memphis Tiger. 2-1 the count to Goodman. 7 home runs and 35 RBIs for the big bat out of the right side of the box. Hyannis has put up just 6 hits on the board as a 2-1 comes in. Fisted foul off to the right above the YD dugout. That one will get out of play and become a souvenir. Jared DeSantolo, who got the nod in the cleanup spot for Chad Gassman tonight, loosening up in the on-deck area. Goodman trying to find a way aboard and give Carvajal something to think about out there. 2-2. Fastball again, punch foul right side. That'll get up and out of play into the grass field that resides behind McKeon Park. Carvajal gets a sign from his catcher behind the plate. 2-2, swing and a miss from Goodman. Tag applied behind the plate from Cardenas. So Hunter goes down, back-to-back strikeouts to start Carvajal's night. 2 straight punch-outs for Hunter Goodman. That'll bring in Jared DeSantolo. So for Hyannis, they'll try and hang on and rack up their 8th win of the summer come the top of the 9th inning. They lead this one 1-0. It's been a very briskly played ball game from both sides. Just 7 hits combined between the two ball clubs tonight. First pitch to Jared. Fastball brushes him off the plate down by the shoe tops. 1 ball and no strikes to the FAU Owl, who's 0 for 3. Again, Carvajal has yet to allow a run in each of his last 3 appearances. Struck out 6 back on July the 20th in just 2 innings against Brewster. Swing and a miss from DeSantolo. 1 ball and 1 strike. He gave up 2 hits in that performance. Was able to fan every batter that he came to face. He struck out Fair and Goodman to start off the 8th inning here in Hyannis. Looking to work with a 1-1 count against DeSantolo. Pitch. Fastball just low. 2 balls and a strike to DeSantolo with Trevor Hopper waiting on deck. So YD has worked in their fair share of defensive replacements and pinch hitters. Hyannis going with their starting 9 as Jared waves and misses through a breaking ball. Slight breeze has come over the ballpark here, blowing out to right center. It's been a trend that's come and gone throughout the night. As the lights are starting to flip on here from Hyannis. Sun fading away over McKeon Park and the harbor. 2-2. DeSantolo punches one foul into the screen straight back. So as Lyle brushed over earlier, a lot of implications on these 2 games to end the year against these Harbor Hawks for the YD Red Sox. First place in the Eastern Division on the line. The Chatham Anglers grip, who once had a stranglehold at the top of the East, is now slipping away. YD Red Sox within striking distance. Carvajal's 2-2. Fastball down to fill up the count. And for YD, sitting at 22-17-3. Chatham 23-15-2. So if YD can find a way to come back and take this ball game against Hyannis, who's looking to play some spoiler, and then cap off a season with a W tomorrow, as a 3-2 misses high, DeSantolo draws a walk. That brings up the strand of back-to-back strikeouts from Carvajal. Puts a runner aboard for Hyannis in the 8th. That gives way to Trevor Hopper. The YD's already locked up a playoff spot. They're not worried about that. It's all about seeding now. These Red Sox well within striking distance of winning the Eastern Division. Of course, 3 of the 4 spots locked up. Harwich and Brewster jockeying for position down at the bottom of the division. That's a big game that's going on tonight right now, actually. Hopper from the left side looks at a fastball at the letters. Want to know the count. That game got underway at 6:30 in White House Field. That's Brewster's 2nd contest of the day. They've already won one earlier over the Chatham Anglers to stay alive. That was a must-win game, and of course this one no different. Breaking ball misses upstairs to Hopper, 2-0. And Harwich finds himself out 6-0 in the bottom of the 4th inning. So Brewster trying to see if they have one last miraculous comeback in him to keep their slim playoff hopes alive. Carvajal's 2-0. Fastball good for a strike. Another playoff team, the Bourne Braves, flipping over to the Western Division. They currently sit in the 4th seed, but they're getting hot at the right time. They picked up a 14-6 victory over the Wareham Gatemen today. Bourne, of course, eliminated Hyannis with a win a couple of nights ago as Hopper swings and pops one up left side. That'll drift back and over the grandstands. 2 balls and 2 strikes as Carvajal receives a new pearl. He'll head back to the rubber. Deuces wild bottom of the 8th inning here from McKeon Park and Hyannis. Again, just one run on the board. Hyannis currently owns it. 2-2 to Trevor. Breaking ball just a bit outside. The count fills again. And a groan from the Whitey Red Sox fans in attendance here at McKeon. The Red Sox definitely travel well. Those bleachers just to the left of the Red Sox dugout filled to capacity. Hopper brings the bat through the zone a few times. Carvajal set out of the stretch. The 3-2. Breaking ball down. Back-to-back walks. So Hopper picks one up. He now ties Jamal O'Gwynn at the top of the leaderboard on the Cape Cod League in free passes. So if Hopper can find a way to pick up one more tomorrow, could find himself in the lead as the season draws to a close. We'll bring up Lucas Dunn. Mitch McIntyre comes on out of the dugout to pinch run for DeSantillo at second. So the two-way player out of BYU getting his crack on the base paths. That'll bring in the Louisville Cardinal, Lucas Dunn. He's been aboard all 3 times he's come to the plate. He's picked up 2 singles, one in the 2nd and one in the 6th, respectively. Batting here in the 8th, trying to pad the lead for Hyannis as it stands 1-0. Swing and a flare down the right field line, hooking foul. So Lucas didn't see any time in Game 2 of the doubleheader yesterday against the Commodores at Gov Fuller. But he did get an appearance in Game 1 where he drew a pair of free passes. Also struck out, but doesn't been able to find his way aboard in his second stint with Hyannis after a return from Team USA. Carvajal fires to 0-1. Breaking ball over the top of it went dumb with a swing and a miss. 0-2 the count. Carvajal trying to limit this Hyannis threat. Ken Gassman opting to go with some speed, subbing in McIntyre. Trevor Hopper sits behind him at first base. Count of 0-2 to Dunn. Carvajal double takes to second, now fires home. Fastball in there. Strike 3 called. He got him looking. 3 strikeouts in the inning for Oscar Carvajal, and he works out of a minute-to threat from Hyannis in the 8th. Couple of walks sandwiched in between the 3 strikeouts, but Hyannis unable to do anything with them. The lead still stands at 1-0. We'll go to the 9th. Hyannis trying to hang on for a win here at home on the Cape Cod Baseball Network. We go to the 9th and the final home game of the season here from McKeon Park in Hyannis. Landon Kelly back on the mound trying to close it out. He came on in relief of Tommy McCollum, who worked 6 scoreless innings, and the lead still stands at 1-0 with Wyatt Young stepping in to lead off the 9th. Swing at the first pitch and pop-up foul out of play to the left. No balls and 1 strike to Wyatt Young, who's 0 for 3. Not an easy bat to keep quiet all night at the top of this Red Sox lineup. That's what Hyannis has done to this point. A 1 from Kelly. Fastball, check swing, called strike 2. So Hyannis 4-16-1 here at McKeon Park this season. trying to hang on for win number 5, and it would be a big one. Kelly from the third base side of the rubber fires home. Fastball tails outside. Hyannis could throw YD off the course to the top of the Eastern Division. Red Sox coming with an aggressive pursuit after the Chatham Anglers. 1-2 from Kelly. Fastball in and out of the glove of Hackenberg, but outside nonetheless. 2 balls, 2 strikes. The Eastern Division as tight can get down the stretch. 2-2 to Young. Fastball roped towards second. Westberg backhands it on a hop from the outfield. Grass throw to first. It is in time to get him. Jordan Westberg, how about it? The second web gem of the ball game as he trickles back onto the outfield grass and lands on the seat of his pants as he fires to fair in time to get Young.
And that glove is showing out tonight. Maybe not as spectacular as the first one, but he still had to field it moving back on a tough hop on the backhand and then make a quick transfer and throw. How about Ian Fair on the other side as well with a nice pick out of the dirt? Was not an easy hop either. That completes the out.
The new hitter, Brad Beasley, watches a breaking ball down and away, and Jordan Westberg, when he doesn't do it with the bat, he does it with the glove and vice versa. He has been some treat to watch this season at McKeon Park as Kelly comes home with an 0-1, swing and a miss. Or rather, a 1-0, now the count even, a ball and a strike. Jordan Westberg, of course, playing his college ball at Mississippi State. Kelly into his windup 1-1. Off speed, just inside. And Westberg carries himself like a real professional up here on Cape Cod, and you never know. He likes to have fun on the baseball field by the way he carries his play style. Kelly comes home with a 2-1. Check swing. Appeal down to third base. He went around. Two balls and 2 strikes to the hitter Beasley as he takes a step out to readjust himself. Steps back in. The pitch from Kelly. Fastball runs in and gets him. Up and into Beasley with a fastball from Kelly. Gets him off the back shoulder, and that'll put a runner aboard for Austin Wells here in the 9th. Kelly just losing control of that fastball a bit.
And he had it out to a 2-2 count. He's been spotting up really well, but just plunks Beasley on the back right there. And for YD, that's their first runner since the 4th inning on a hit-by pitch to Jack Wold with 2 down. So since then, they had not had a single base runner aboard. And now things get a little bit dicey. Chad Gassman's going to work his way out to the mound, maybe wants a pitching change, or maybe just wants to go over a couple of things. No, it'll be a pitching change because Austin Wells is coming to the plate here with a man on.
So Gassman hurrying his way out to the mound. He calls in the rest of the infield, and there is some action going on in the Hyannis pen, as there has been for a few minutes now.
Oh, well, it looked like it was going to be a pitching change. It looked like Angus McCloskey was starting to jog in from the pen, and then Gassman sent him back.
Well, that would have been something if Gassman had called upon Angus McCloskey, and he was a very, very late arrival this summer. Just got here about a week ago. He's been thrown into action a couple of times. Austin Wells to the plate. Gassman still going with Kelly, the right-hander, on the mound against a lefty bat in the box. A runner at first, Brad Beasley. Held on slightly by Ian Fair. Kelly spins, fires back. Giving a head-first slide in is Brad Beasley at the bag. He's safe. Well, as Lyle just touched upon, first base runner of the game for YD since the 4th inning. They've had just 1 hit all night as well. Pitch to Wells. Fastball down and away. And they've kept Wells quiet. He's 0 for 3. Couple of strikeouts and a bounding ball to second in the 6th inning. Short lead for the runner Beasley. 1 on and 1 out here in the 9th inning. Kelly set, pitch. Fastball just low, 2-0 to Wells. YD Red Sox fan in attendance starting to rile up a little bit. They can sense that this YD lineup getting ever so closer to tying this ball game up. This will be the last inning, win, lose, or draw. Kelly gets a sign from Hackenberg, comes home. Wells Bloops one into shallow center field. Coming on, Teodosio dives, and did he make the catch? Yes, he did. Teodosio throw back to first. A double off the runner. They got him. They got him. That's the ball game. Oh my goodness. What a way to end the 2019 home summer. My, oh my, Bryce Teodosio, did you expect another ending?
And isn't that fitting? Two absolutely miraculous defensive plays to end the ball game here in the ninth. I mean, Jordan Westberg comes up with another web gem. And I mean, how many plays like that is Bryce Teodosio going to have in one summer? I mean, you almost lose track of how many. And that one right there, Wells blooped one into center field. Looked like it was going to fall easily. Pretty much anybody else out there, that falls for a base hit. But Bryce goes all out. Dives, makes the grab, quickly gets to his feet, fires a strike on a one-hop to Ian Fair at first, and that ends the ball game.
So let's recap. Let's get a chance to catch our breath because there's a lot to unwrap from this ball game tonight. Hyannis takes the win 1-0 here in the final home game of the summer at McKeon Park, and it was a briskly played ball game from both sides. Hyannis put up just run on 6 hits, and it was a double from Trevor Hopper in the fourth that got it started. A walk from Lucas Dunn, and Jackson Olsen deposited one through the legs of Wold at first, an error that scored Hopper. So Hyannis lucking out a little bit, and the fielding errors from YD coming back to bite him, and the best pitching performance of the summer by far from Hyannis here at home to cap off the home summer.
Yeah, how good was Tommy McCollum? 6 shutout innings, 1 hit, 4 strikeouts. I mean, again, this is a guy who'd never in his college career, school or summer, thrown more than 3 1/3 innings. He almost doubles that tonight, and he was marvelous. I mean, this is a YD team. I mean, they have 4 All-Stars in their lineup offensively, or usually. Campbell out of the lineup tonight. But 3 All-Stars in the lineup tonight. An offense that's as loaded as almost anybody's in the East Division. And the freshman, or the kid just coming off his freshman season, Tommy McCollum, holds them in check and flat out overpowers them.
So Hyannis takes the win at McKeon Park in the finale of the home summer in 2019. These two will square off one more time. That'll come tomorrow at Red Wilson Field to cap off the season for these Harbor Hawks. But what a way to wrap things up here from McKeon Park. Giving one last cheer for the Hyannis faithful at home. They take this one by a final score of 1-0. What a win for the Hyannis Harbor Hawks. And one more time, the final lines for each team. For the victorious Harbor Hawks, 1 run on 6 hits and no errors. And for the YD Red Sox, no runs, 1 hit, and 1 huge costly error that put the lone run on the board tonight. These two teams will wipe away this ball game, and it'll be a tough one for YD to shake off. But they got one more crack at things tomorrow against these Harbor Hawks to wrap up the season before they head to postseason play. For Hyannis, one last ball game tomorrow at Red Wilson. First pitch set for 5 o'clock, and we'll talk to you then. But for now, for Lyle Goldstein, I'm Brendan Howe from an exciting night here at McKeon Park. We'll talk to you tomorrow.